I have given it a light sanding. You can see what I mean by the lines. They're everywhere. That's because the ply is very cheaply put together. The piece of ply that is underneath that, I can guarantee you where those lines are, there will be gaps, which is why you get lines like that. You cannot sand them down because it will show up even worse. I'm not in the best place here because I've got that tree, so we're gonna crack on. Right, I ain't going to pretend that that's perfect. It's very, very difficult to be able to fill up all of those grain cracks. So I think that will have to do for this one. I mean, it's definitely a lot nicer than it was before. Unfortunately, we're not going to see most of the good grain. It's all hidden once this thing is pinned onto the wall. So we'll let that dry. We'll shoot into the truck now, detach some of the other bits and bobs that we've got to do, and then we'll screw this one up. It's a pity about those grain cracks, really. It really is. Alright, we have a shower tray. Only thing about it is we've got a very large platter. Sorry, you have to excuse me a minute. I'm recording, honey. Yeah, as I was trying to say, there is a large plug hole on this, bigger than I anticipated. We're having a bit of a debate at the moment. I was just saying to the viewers that we're having a bit of a debate at the moment whether to use an electric toilet or a mechanical flush toilet. The problem with the electric one is if the batteries go flat, we won't be flushing the loo. The mechanical one, that has its own, that hand pumps, right? And you fill it up with water physically, whereas the electric one, you can have that on the main water system. So that's where the electrical problem comes. And I don't know what to do. The manual pump one is a big square block, takes up a lot of room, you can't move the toilet's bowl around, whereas the other one you can move the toilet bowl around. So we'll have to have a chat about this later, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And the reason for it is the water system, the drainage on that. See, I can have that directly out at the side of the wall and have a container to collect it. And my thoughts on this is if we try and avoid, but we can't avoid it because we've got to put water system in the back to feed the taps to the shower, and that's what I was trying to avoid doing. So see, the issue with the water system is because the slide out moves in and out, we've got to come off the main pump with another hose, and that hose has got to freely move with the slide out. Never thought this out properly when I put this together, because all I was going to do was have the hose loose and then have maybe a bungee cord tied to it, so it automatically picks it up in the air as the slide out moves in and out. That may not be the case with this now. So as I said, I really do not know. Right, we've got the plywood out. This is for people on like a camcorder. We've got the plywood out from behind the sofa where my stash is. I'm now going to measure that way and that way. We'll mark out, we'll use the circular saw, you won't see that bit. We'll cut that to size, we'll then bring it in, same as yesterday. I'll get behind the cab, I'll draw the hole out with the jigsaw, cut it, and then we'll put that in the garden, and we'll, you got me on camera because that's better, then we'll stain it all up. There's some interesting grain on this piece of wood, so I'm going to focus a lot of the dye on some of that heavy grain. We'll then sand that back gently to fill up some of the grooves because it didn't go so well on the last one. Get that in the house, put the heating on, let that dry as quickly as possible, gentle sand back, and then we'll put the first coat of lacquer, which is going to be 70% thinners and 30% lacquer, and the purpose of that is I need the wood to drink it so it seals it, which is what I should have done on all of the wood beforehand, and I didn't. 90 for that one, and I don't think we've got enough on the length anyway to complete this. Yeah, it's just under 4 foot, so that's going to be a problem. So we're going to have to raise that up and have a gap at the bottom. So what I might do is run some scrappy wood at the bottom just so I can put a skirting board across, which will have to be lacquered. Right, 90. Trim this one up a little bit better down here, but we're going to put belt sander over this when it's fitted. See what I mean by the cheap nastiness of this? Well, they've cut it so thin that you can see the plies behind. That's the peril of buying cheap ass plywood. However, with that in mind, we do have some nice grain pattern that I can highlight with the dye. I made a mistake last time and not rubbing this down. So we'll just give it a little rub. Unfortunately, we've chipped the hell out of it trying to get it in, being a bit clumsy. Right, now we're going to transfer it over, but before I do that I'm going to get the other one into the truck first. Pause.
Check the one in the hall.
As you can see, the dye is on. You can see the highlighted grain pattern. That's what will come through once the lacquer goes on, but I think on this occasion we're going to sand this down as soon as it's dry. Can't really help the mess over there. That was caused by the machinery that made the plywood. As I keep saying, if you use cheap plywood you'll get cheap results, and that's exactly what's going on here. You'll never get it proper, but my money, I'm tight budgeted as hell, so I don't have any choice in the matter. But I mean, what there is, you'll see that when this goes up on the wall, that will be in full visual, so I'm happy with that. The hole, I've cut it slightly smaller because we couldn't get that accurately pushed up because of the holes that I had to make. We managed to crack it trying to get it in through the door. We nearly snapped it trying to get it in the garden because there's a crevice underneath the ply right down the middle there, right where I cut. So yeah, we've got to be very careful. We'll now get the other one in the truck and try and get that one screwed on the wall while this one's drying behind the radiator, although I need to leave it out here for a little while longer, and then we'll put it on the radiator. I don't want to stain the floor, so there you go. big enough. Put that on. Better. Oh. There you go. Now it's straight. What's the matter with you?
Me.
She had the camera in hand, but she was pointing it down.
Sorry. I forgot. I missed.
If it's a struggle, go and sit down and point the camera out.
No, it wasn't a struggle. It's just I completely. My mind just went blank. That was all.
Okay. You're having an older age pension at the moment, were you?
No, I was not.
Excuse me.
Start picking on me.
I'm not picking on you, I never pick on you.
Just watch you don't fall off that ladder.
Sorry?
Watch you don't fall off.
Can only fall off if someone pushes me. Honey.
Don't you know how that is?
I love this colour.
Go and get something to eat for your lunch.
Mum will be in to burp you in a little while.
I won't burp him. I'll burp you in a minute. I've got your backside. You don't behave. I'll get that shoe across the road and put up.
Right, that's those ones in, but I never marked the side ones because I wasn't planning.
I'll put the bottom in.
Hang on. We could put a row in the bottom. I didn't mark any spacings.
That's that little Jeep thing, Suzuki thing.
I bet you I got that right. There, I got that right. And then a couple of horrible rivets. I don't have any choice in the matter. You've got to get this against the sealant. Which is there. So how many rivets do you reckon?
3, 4,
We'll do 3. One there,
one there, and do one a bit there.
and another one about there. Now that should be enough to pull that tight up there against that, but the dust that's going to fly behind, that could be a problem.
Need one at the top really, don't you? Fair enough.
Yep, it's holding against there quite fast, so yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, make it high this one. Oh, the door's up.
You reckon you're going to have enough?
I don't think I will be able to do the whole of this, but we'll have a go. We'll see where it gets us. I don't know. Tell you what, this stuff would be good, useful for.
What's that?
Lining the ceiling in the cab for that buttoned effect, quilted button effect I want on the roof and on the walls. Not only that, it would insulate that cab, because a lot of the cold that people get in their vehicles is from the uninsulated cabin area.
I've got a feeling you're just going to have enough to do that bit.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
That's all you got.
Oh, I didn't know I had that bit down. I forgot about that.
Cut that from apart, kind of pull it apart. So it goes down the middle. So
That's what I got it from. I have this. Oh shit. Can you keep the camera on me instead of wandering around, because you're making the audience dizzy.
another little piece down there, look. There, there's another piece there, look.
Oh, that's light. That's going to make a.
I don't see any more.
No,
Sorry.
that is it. That's your lot. That is your lot. Right.
You're sweating, dear.
Yeah, I'm a little hot. Right, well, we're done. We're done. Can't do any more now. Waiting for that lacquer to dry. That'll go in the house overnight to dry off properly. Tomorrow morning, if there's no rain, I'm hoping there's no rain, we'll get the final coat of lacquer on that. I'll head off down to one of the DIY stores and we'll get some wood to start the roof, so we can then plan to finish that off. Decided I will do all the sides, so tomorrow's work will be that bit, and then the roof, and then the sides, and then we'll turn our attention to the two slide outs and the bulkheads, which is here, because we've got to finish off the lacquering of that unit that goes up here. So we need two bulkheads coming down each side on that bit and on this bit. And I have no more power left in my blinking lorry battery to slide the slide out back in, so we need to put charger on. So that's it. Until tomorrow, I guess I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.